Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Wild Digest. I'm Scott, coming to you from sunny Southern California. It's kind of in the 90s-ish right now. We're in a bit of that stretch where it just never seems to crack out of the 90s or upper 80s. It sucks because here in Southern California, our Septembers often are the warmest months of the year. I've seen triple digits in October as well, but right now we're just sort of in that 90s, pushing 100. We'll see how it goes. But enough about the weather. I wanted to talk about a few other things. Book Trek for me is done. I've wrapped up all the stuff I was going to read this month. And it's the 29th as I record this, so I don't really think I'm going to squeeze any more Trek in before we roll into September. I've got all those plans. So I've got to be reading a whole bunch of these middle grade books through September, hoping to get through a bunch of those for a writing project. So those are going to be pretty much taking up most of my time. Although I do hope to get at least a few short stories in, so I can kind of sort of have a semblance of a short story September. We'll see how that all goes. But I did have a little bit of a book haul that I wanted to share with you. Yesterday, I was out running some errands, which brought me close to my very favorite local bookshop. And I say local because this one is only just a few miles from me. Some of the other ones I like to go to are within 30 miles or 40 miles. So they're a bit of a haul to get there, a haul to get a haul. But this particular store is the Iliad Bookshop. And if you're ever in Southern California, particularly if you're in the San Fernando Valley, do make sure that you visit the Iliad Bookshop, because it is a fantastic, independent, used bookshop. It's been around for literally decades, and they have a lot of stuff to pick and choose from. Typically, their prices are more than fair. They sometimes will price something a little high if it's especially collectible or if the condition is very, very good. But I've picked up books there for as little as $1.50, $2 on average. I picked up a few yesterday that were a little bit more than that, but I was happy with what I got, and I'll show you what those are right now. And then specifically, just like I was saying, it's called the Iliad Bookshop. What is it? It's two L's? No, one L. ILIAD, Iliad Bookshop. And they are located right at the edge or the border of Burbank and North Hollywood. So if you're in the area, look for the Iliad. It's located at the corner of Cahuenga Boulevard and Chandler. I don't know if it's Chandler Avenue or Boulevard. I always forget. But that's where you'll find it. Well worth a visit. Be aware, bizarrely, they're closed on Sundays and Mondays, but they're open Tuesday through Saturday every week. You will have a great time. Their sci-fi section is enormous. Great stuff. So let's go through a few of those, shall we? First of all, I grabbed this. These are not in any order whatsoever, but I grabbed this one not only because it has a very metal cover by Rowena, The Iron Lords by Andrew Offutt. It's also book one of the War of the Gods on Earth series. And it's in really, really nice condition. Very happy to have spotted that on the shelf. Offutt, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's no longer with us, but he wrote a ton of Thieves' World stories and Conan stories and a lot of stuff of his own devising. And this is one of his series. It's a trilogy. I don't know the names of the other two books in this trilogy, but this is the first one. I'm looking forward to reading it. And if anybody out there has read the War of the Gods on Earth series by, what did I say his name was? Andrew Offutt, drop a comment. Let me know if it's any good. Or if you liked it. If you thought it was rubbish. The guy did write some erotica, but I don't own any of that. And it's in pseudonyms as well. All right, next one on my stack. This one is by another very well-regarded author of science fiction and fantasy, and that's Jack Williamson. And this book looks about as good as it did when it was first bought, probably, 1964. I could not pass this one up. This is Golden Blood by Jack Williamson. It has a Ed M. Schwiller cover, And I know nothing about this book. I've never read it. But when I saw the condition it was in, I mean, it looks brand new. It has a nice purple text block. It's a Lancer, so that makes sense. And again, the condition was so good. I think this one might have been $5. So I paid a little bit more for it, but I just couldn't pass it up. It was just in such beautiful condition. Look, it even has that shine on there. It's beautiful. So anyway, Jack Williamson, Golden Blood, science and sorcery battle in a desert of mystery, and one man fights alone against odds of unimaginable evil. So I'm sure it's great. Anyway, Jack Williamson. Couldn't pass that up. This one, I read this when I was a kid. It was in my dad's collection. He had a big collection of science fiction, mainly science fiction, but some fantasy. And this definitely was my introduction to L. Sprague de Camp and Fletcher Pratt and the Enchanter books that they wrote. But this is the Carnelian Cube. And again, really, really nice condition copy. It again has the purple text block that you'll recognize from the Lancer books. There's a little bit of discoloration on the back here, probably some sun damage or something, and a bit of a lean, but not terrible. And it's solid, absolutely solid. And the corners are all nice and sharp there. I don't know if you can see that, with a Kelly Frias cover. So a real nice find. That one wasn't very expensive at all, if I recall. So happy to have brought that back into my life. As I say, I read it originally when I was a kid and never saw it again. So I don't know if I loaned it to somebody or I lost it or ate it or whatever. But anyway. And lastly, because I only got 4 books, it was, like I say, it was just a mini haul, is a Brian Stableford, The Castaways of Tanagar. And it's a DAW book. And the reason this is so important is because I'm going to show you my DAWs. Ooh, I'm going to release the DAWs on you. I'm going to scare you away with my DAWs. I'm going to whip my DAWs out. Anyway, enough of that. I'm going to show you some of the DAWs that I have in my collection. And it just so happened that I picked this one up yesterday, completely unaware of the whole show you my DAWs thing. This is a chunky one, by the way. You can see that. It's a little faded on the spine, but it's very clean and very solid. Happy to add that one. I'm going to show you some of my DAWs, and I have about 40 of them. I would call myself a casual DAW collector. I don't go out and look for them. If I spot one and it's in really nice condition, or it's an author I really like, or it's a cover I really like, or there's some other reason I would want to grab it, I will pick it up. So, I mean, I guess that's what most of us do with any of the books we buy, but that's what makes me more of a casual DAW collector. And granted, I said I had 40 books, but they're all in really, for the most part, really, really nice condition. And I'm going to show them to you right now. So sit back, relax, and we'll go through a bunch of these. I'll do it at breakneck speed because I don't want to bore you with an endless parade of yellow spines. So here are my DAWs. All right, time to show you some DAWs. I'm going to start right off with this Brian Stableford Castaways of Tanagar because I just showed it to you. And as you can see right here, it's number 428. I'm going to show you these once I get to the stack in numerical order. How crazy is that? I've actually organized them, and I think I've got them down right. But yeah, so this is that Castaways of Tanagar that I got. Big chunky volume there. It's got artwork in here by, who's the author or the artist? H.R. Van Dongen, or Van Dongen. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but that is 428. So we're jumping way ahead on that in that one. But it all starts with this one. Spell of the Witch World, number 1. This is the very first DAW book, and this is a first printing. As you can see, it's in a very nice condition. Very, very happy to have that one. And of course, that one has a Jack Gaughan cover for the cover art. Number 1. Jump ahead a little bit. I've got number 3 here, The Probability Man by Brian Ball. and you're not going to be able to, well, you can pause it and read it, I guess. This is number 3. This one is a Kelly Frias cover, as you could probably tell. Really, really nice one too. And again, you know, I try to pick these in as good as condition as I can find, so I'm very happy with that one. Gonna keep moving through these. This is number 4, the Book of Van Vogt. And the other thing too is that these I've found at local bookshops for the most part. Very few of these have I actually ordered from anyone online. So these are, I find them in the wild, and you can see they're in shockingly good condition. This also means that I leave a lot of these, DAWs on the shelf because they're just beat to hell. So, but this one, very, very nice condition, Book of Van Vogt, with a Carl Thole cover art, very nice. We've got To Challenge Chaos. This is number 7, so we're jumping ahead a little bit. Brian Stableford. Hey, where do I know that name from? Again, nice, really, really good condition copy on this one. And a Kelly Frias artwork, cover. Very colorful. Tactics of Mistake. This is number 9 by Gordon Dixon. And again, another Kelly Frias. I love his art. His stuff is just terrific. And you can see this, it's in like phenomenal condition. And it was another one I just found on the shelf at a local bookshop. Yeah, I guess I'm lucky in that regard. This begins the Dre Prescott books that I have, and this is the very first one, number 33, Transit to Scorpio. That is Tim Kirk cover art, and again, in really good shape, but they put, the buyer had this labels on there, and damaged. Oh, I don't want to talk about it, make me sad. But this is Transit to Scorpio, number 33. Other than that stinking little label that started to tear away there, it's in great shape. You're gonna see I actually got a couple more that suffered from that same issue. Here's another Dre Prescott. This one, this is the second book, and I only put this one here because it isn't actually the correct number. This is one of their later UI code reprints. But the reason I put this one here is, I mean, where else am I going to drop it? I forget what the actual number is of the first release of Sons of Scorpio. But one of the reasons I wanted to show you that is I also have, and this is a bit of a jump out of the DAW thing, but this is the Futura release of Sons of Scorpio. And it's got Chris Achilleos art on the cover, but the interior art is all Tim Kirk. And you will see that I had Tim sign that at the Los Angeles Vintage Collectors Paperback Show this year. He signed it back in March of this year. So pretty excited about that. But I thought I'd pair it up since I had the other Sons of Scorpio. I've got the Pritchard Mass here by another Gordon Dixon. This one is number 69, dude. And again, a really, really nice condition copy and a Kelly Frias cover art. The Pritchard Mass. Stack's gonna fall over. Number 73, this is James Gunn's Breaking Point. And this one here has a cover by Michael Gilbert. Not sure what's going on in there. Teddy bear in a box. Yeah, so this is number 73. Breaking Point. This one's a little worse for wear because I've actually had this one in my personal collection for a while. This is number 88, and it's A Quest for Symbolus, Michael Shea. And you'll see it says An Epic Fantasy of the Dying Earth. This is one of the if not the only full Dying Earth novel that was written by someone other than Jack Vance. I may have that completely wrong, but certainly at the time, this was the first time that a Dying Earth novel had been written by someone other than Jack Vance. And Michael Shea had permission to write this one. And as I say, this one's a little gnarly. This one I picked up many, many years ago because I'm a Dying Earth fan. And so this one I've read and enjoyed. So very happy to have that one. This is a George Barr cover, if you're curious. We've got some more Dre Prescott, Prince of Scorpio. You can see is number 97, Prescott of Antares. These are all Kenneth Balmer, by the way. It says Alan Akers, but Kenneth Balmer had like 27 pen names. So this is one of his, Prince of Scorpio. This one is in like brand new condition. I've been very lucky with some of these books, I'll tell you. And when I spot them, I grab them. This is The Weathermonger by Peter Dickinson, 104. And another one that's in very nice shape. I heard about this series from Stephen Andrews, the Outlaw Bookseller. It's very interesting. These are effectively, it's like a YA, or at the time would have been a juvenile. And this is this is where it gets confusing. Technically, this could be book 3, but it was released. There were 3 books in the series, and this one was released first. Again, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I believe this one was released first, even though it's further in the future in the storyline. I have 3 really, really nice hardcover editions of the whole series, but I do have the DAW release of The Weathermonger, and really, really nice condition copy with a George Barr cover. Some more Gordon Dixon. This is 116, The Star Road. An Eddie Jones cover. Very spacey. Little fade there on the spine, but not bad. First time in paperback. More Gordon Dixon. I got lots of Gordon Dixon. This is one, we're jumping ahead a bit. You'll see it's all over the place. So 137, The R Master. Russian Roulette for the Mind, with the winner taking the world. That's pretty rad. What a super cool cover. I love that one. That's a Jack Gaughan cover. The R Master. The Big Black Mark. A. Bertram Chandler. This is 139. I have no idea what happened to this cover. That's all pitted. Kind of makes it look like it's on a really nice starscape, but it's actually the surface. You can see it's kind of caused damage on there, but it's solid. I mean, it's in really, really nice condition. What is that, 139 on that one? And that's a Kelly Freas cover, one of his more minimalist ones. The spine is really, really clean and bright, but yeah, I don't know. It must have gotten stuck to something long, long ago. More Dre Prescott. This is 159. Bladesman of Antares. And this is, a lot of these Dre Prescotts are Jack Gaughan covers. You guys, they're kind of minimalist themselves, but they're nice. Oh, another one of those. Urgh! I'm so terrified of trying to get that label off because I don't think it's going to work well. This one I just picked up very, very recently. C.I. de Fontenay, 167. This is supposedly, and I've not read it, but it's supposedly a translation, I think, of an old, I don't know, some kind of like a fantasy story from the 1800s. Who knows? Anyway, really, really nice condition copy though. And that one does also have a George Barr cover. Really, really cool cover. I like that one a lot. But yeah, this one I just found recently. And I think it was at the Iliad. And it was just a couple bucks. Christopher Anvill's Warlord's World. This is 168. And that's a Kelly Freas cover. Look at how rad that is. That's freaking awesome. That snake got a bubble helmet on. How cool is that? More Dre Prescott. I do want to keep collecting the Dre Prescotts, and the funny thing is I haven't read a single one, but I'm feeling compelled to get the whole series, and I know there's a ton of them, and there were even some that were published in more recent years after his death, and they were published in Germany, and it's a convoluted story, but this is 173 Jack Gaughan cover. Don't want to talk about that. Oh, look at that damage. Make me sad. All right. Peter Dickinson. This is another one that I heard about from Steve Andrews on the Outlaw Bookseller. He recommended this one, I believe, number 174. where people become green. So I think it's a story, it's basically a story about racism, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't read it yet. 174, and this is a John Gentile cover. A little bit more of a modern take on things. Yeah, and this is also interesting. It's got like these colored text on the spine. I think that's intentional. I don't think somebody colored that in. Hey, look, more Dre Prescott books. they just keep coming. This is a Josh Kirby cover though, but that's pretty cool. This is 237. I gotta speed this thing up or I'm gonna be doing this for hours. 239, this is a David J. Lake, The Right Hand of Dextra. And that's a George Barr cover. Really colorful and kick-ass. What is going on in that thing? That tiger striped thing looks very mean. Yeah, so this is very, very cool. Again, nice, slightly faded cover spine there, but overall, you can see in the shine on there, it's in great shape. I do have a few of these collections. This one is the best from the rest of the world. I think I got this one at Planet Books down in Long Beach, California. And apologies if the camera's shaking a little bit there. 268. Again, it's got some spine fade on there, but it's solid. It's in decent shape. European science fiction. Haven't read any of the stories in here, but certainly intrigued to dig in at some point. Dre Prescott, hey, look at that more. I'm just gonna skip that one. This one has a real nice cover though. I like when they did the full color or full size cover ones. This is 335. Or was that 355? 335. And that's a Richard Hescox cover. Really nice. Really nice. Is this where we're, oh yeah, this is where, it's funny because now at this point they're written by Dre Prescott. They're actually, now Dre Prescott's just writing his own books. So the original ones were Alan Akers, and now it's Dre Prescott, a fictional character writing his own books. Moorcock, this is the only, shockingly, this is the only Daw Moorcock book I have. I don't have any of the Elrics or anything, as much as I would absolutely love to have them, but they are very hard to find. And again, I kind of want to just do my own search and see what I can find on bookshelves versus just ordering stuff on eBay or whatever. So, but this is kind of an odd one. Doesn't pop up very often. I gotta move my stack here. Hang on. This one is a bit of a different type of cover. This is Richard Purtill, The Golden Griffin Feather. And that you can see there's 367. 367, that's a George Barr cover. Bright, bold, brassy. Anyway, Purtill. It's a little slender novel. Hey, look, more Dre Prescott. They just keep coming, man. This is what, 397. You know, and there are rather lots of these. This is another Richard Hescox cover, by the way. I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can see a signature there. This one I picked up, I think I got this one at a another bookshop down in Long Beach, but not Planet Books. I think it was a different one. Got it a few months ago, 427. Daystar and Shadow, James B. Johnson. I think this is a post-apocalyptic one, if I remember correctly. But it's again, it's in good shape. Trying to see where that's that's a Ken Kelly cover art. Sexy, sexy, sexy. We're almost done, trust me. This is presents the 1981 annual World's Best SF. I really love these collections, these anthologies. I would love to get more. I'm always keeping an eye out for them. This one's a little bit more, I say a little bit more beat up. I mean, compared to some of the ones I see, this is in phenomenal shape. Definitely the spine has faded out pretty good, but it's solid. I mean, there's no overwhelming folded corners or anything like that, but That should be a nice one to read at some point. 432. That is Michael Mariano did that cover. Kind of has a Larry Elmore style to it, if you know who that is. Banners of the Sayen by B.R. Statham. Statham. A State of Ham. 441. This is Ken Kelly. Really, really nice copy of this one. I mean, it looks practically brand new. Dre Prescott, hey, look. I'm just going to skip it over. An AE Van Vogt. Wait, did I screw? No, I didn't. This is just another AE Van Vogt. I had that best. I think I had the best of, but that was an early release. We're way up in the 460s now. 465. The Silky, his greatest science fiction creation. That is most definitely a Wayne Barlow cover. Yes. And I think this was an Iliad buy as well. Doris Pircia, oh my gosh, I'm going to butcher your Doris's name here. Doris Pizerkia or Pizerkia? That sounds good. Doris Pizerkia. 486, the Dimensioneers. That one is really cool. That's a Kelly Frias cover right there. Let's see if I can get that in focus. How cool is that? Dude, they're flying in the sky on alligators or crocodiles or something. But really, really nice, nice shape on that one. I just have a few more. Home to Avalon. This is definitely a post-apoc one because it says it right in the cover. Earth's final foe, Earth's last refuge. Home to Avalon. Arthur H. Landis. That is 505. That's a Ken Kelly cover if I ever saw one, for sure. Got some noise coming from next door. They've been working in their place for like almost a year. And so there's talking and construction going on. Hopefully you don't hear it. CJ Cherry, this is the Dreamstone. This one is 521. I read this one just recently, and it was okay. I posted on my blog a little bit of a review on my blog some time ago. I'll link to it. There's a link to my blog, and you can always search for this particular book. But yeah, that's it's pretty good, and that's I think that's a Whalen cover, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Is that Michael Whalen? Probably. Let me see if I can figure it out. Hang on. 521. No, that's David Cherry. Really? Is that right? That can't be. Is that right? Look at that. David Cherry. CJ Cherry. Anyway. Gordon Dixon. More Gordon Dixon. This is a collection of stories, though. This is 522 with a Paul Chadwick cover. Pretty neat. More green people. Yeah, this is short stories. Really, really nice collection of short stories from Gordon Dixon. Mutants. This is the only Marion Zimmer Bradley I have in my collection. And it's because it's a collection of stories, so I'm not going to fault the other authors in there, but she was not a good person. And but there's some really good stuff in here. You can see there's some really, really excellent authors in there. Elizabeth Warren, what? Oh, Waters, okay. I was going to say, I didn't think she wrote stories. This is 525. Number 525 with a Victor Poyser cover, kind of a fun, whimsical cover of people gathering around, looking in this sphere, including a unicorn. An anthology of fantasy. As I say, the only DAW I have in my collection with Bradley's name on the spine, as far as I know. I always see other Bradleys on the shelf, and I tend to avoid grabbing them. I know I don't think she's with us anymore. I believe she's long deceased, but I don't know, it just stings when I contemplate picking her stuff up, which sucks because she really was a great writer. I just don't like the person, but maybe I can separate and, I don't know, start to pick up some of her work again. Because I know if I'm buying it at a used bookstore, it's certainly not going into her pocket. This is the sequel to that CJ Cherry book that I just recently read. and this is 540, The Tree of Swords and Jewels. It's a thicker volume. I've not read this yet, but I did like the first one, but I didn't love it. So no rush to dive into the sequel, but I'm sure I will read it at some point. I feel like that's maybe, is that a Whalen cover? 540? Yeah, that's a Michael Whalen cover. Yeah, definitely. And then last but not least, I have a Wollheim's World's Best SF Series 5. And this one is one of those crazy ones. It's just a reprint. I'm not sure what the original number was. But just, you know, some good stuff in there. Some very well-known authors. A very unspectacular cover. Original title, the 1976 Annual World's Best SF. So this one's a little dinged up. I mean, it's still in solid condition, but I'm happy to have this one. And it's Oliviero Berni who did that cover. Olivia Berni. Anyway, 20 minutes, like 22 minutes to go through those all those DAWs. I hope I didn't bore you too much. There's a lot of good stuff in there. A lot of stuff I have read, a lot of stuff I haven't read, a lot of stuff I'm in the process of collecting. I love the DAWs. I love the look of them. I love the size of them. I love the artwork on them. They are just wonderful, wonderful books. And I fully intend to continue collecting them for as long as I can. So that is it. I am closing this one down. Thank you so much for watching me dig through my DAWs, and I'll catch you on the flip side.